Hello, my name is Antonio Carrillo. I am here representing Arizona Western College in Yuma, Arizona. I've been teaching in higher education since 1999, and I have seen myself in a transitional period from the traditional classroom teaching format to a more advanced way of teaching, which is the online mode that it's so popular and convenient for many of our customers everywhere in the nation, and I would assume in the world. Currently, I teach 200 level courses at this community college in the areas of literature, culture, and introduction to Hispanic films. My experience, it's been traditional, face-to-face, 100% online, and what we call hybrid mode, 50%, 50 or 50-50 or so of teaching. The Spanish course that I teach in our institution fulfills several requirements that our degrees have. For example, the Introduction to Hispanic Film and Culture, it's part of the humanities block, therefore fulfilling the general education curriculum for all of our transferable degrees and for our vocational degrees as well. Also, this particular course is part of the required major courses in the Associate of Arts in Spanish, and it helps the students move on to the Bachelor's of Spanish and the 300 level courses. It also fulfills the Arizona requirement for cultural awareness in our course, and I give you at the bottom of this slide a course description that is the official description of the cultural awareness requirement at our institution. This is the course description. Technology wise, I have been able to learn and put into practice different techniques that I've learned throughout the years, and my emphasis has always been the technology aspect of teaching, since now our children are taught in schools how to use computers, and I would say most of 13-year-olds and older have internet accounts on Facebook and YouTube, and they all know how to build or create a video or create a web page. So some of these generations do not need to go to a classroom setting or a training to learn how to do those things. Since they're exposed to this type of technology at a very early age, they know in some instances more than what many of my colleagues know about technology. So we need to be constantly updating ourselves in regards to the electronic media that there are out there, so that we can keep up with the type of students that we are getting, and that we will continue to get in the next years. I've heard some of my students say that they don't like to take classes with specific teachers because they still teach using what they call old and antique modes of teaching. So I would say that if we as instructors do not keep up with technology to be attuned to the new generations, we will probably end up losing students to those professors who learn the technology, the everyday and modern technology to deliver their courses. There are the traditional, the face-to-face format and the online format. I personally do not see a big difference between the two modes of delivery, because if an instructor is creative enough, we can come up with similar or replications of what we do in a face-to-face setting, and we can translate that into a virtual mode of teaching. I have a little explanation on this slide of what I'm talking about. The traditional teaching, you have your face-to-face lectures, your discussions, your examinations, and sometimes you have additional online resources. And the only thing that I would say is a little different. It's the immediate feedback that the student gets from the teacher. However, that can also be replicated online with the chat rooms and things like that. The other difference that I see is that online you have the very disciplined students who really need to know how to manage their time and set time aside to do their work online, whereas the face-to-face setting allows for different types of students who could just go to the classroom and learn from the discussions of the teacher, and they could do a little review afterwards, and they would be okay. The online format really restricts that, and the student has to have a discipline to go through the material and be able to survive on its own, or with a very little help from the teacher. The convenience of online classes. Well, personally, I have really benefited from this format because as an adult I have other responsibilities, such as a full-time job and part-time teaching and other things, family and personal time, and the online format is the only way that allows me to continue to update myself in education and in technology and other things. Therefore, I greatly have benefited from the online teaching. In the particular course that I teach, the Introduction to Hispanic Film and Culture, I use different materials since we We use a lot of films. We have about 12 different movies throughout a semester. We use a DVD or a Blu-ray, and we also have for the online courses the Netflix website that they can subscribe while they're students and keep it if they want afterwards. Many of these movies are also available on YouTube, either in a full length format or in parts. So, and there's some other channels there online that are free, like TV, that can really have a good selection of movies for free. I use the Tecnológico de Monterrey website for the MLA handouts, and they have an excellent website. I also use the Purdue website for the MLA, and the Monterrey, the Tecnológico de Monterrey website has all this information in Spanish, and since I teach this course in Spanish, that's very convenient for my students. The Purdue website, they have it on in English, and we teach these courses in the United States. Therefore, our students need to know English, and they could translate their materials from the Purdue to the Spanish required for this course. I use a lot of supplemental videos, and the library in my school has a great selection for the different subjects and topics that are discussed in my class throughout the semester. I use a lot of .gov websites. That's for countries that we study, the government of Argentina, the government of Mexico, and so on and so forth. We have a textbook that we use as a reference for some chapters and some films that are contained with that textbook. I use very small video clips with instructions for the students to use how to use Word, and how to do the structure of an essay, how to use the keyboard, and how to use the Alt keys, especially for the special characters that are needed in the Spanish language. How do I assess my students? Well, we do weekly essays, weekly discussions, weekly quizzes. We have a midterm exam, and we have a final exam. At the end of the semester, whether in person or online, the students are required to compile a presentation, and they record this, and if it's an online course, they have to record themselves and do the PowerPoint. Okay. A very important thing that I feel is needed when you have this type of courses online or 100% online is that whatever we teach on a weekly basis has to be consistent, so that the student does not have a frustration about change of format each week. For example, I have a what to do type of PowerPoint presentation, and in which I explain what they need to do. For example, they need to do watch a lecture PowerPoint, and that in that PowerPoint presentation I give some statistics about the country that we study, the culture, the film industry in that country, and a review of the film that it's been discussed during that week. I give them some supplemental videos. I use some supplemental websites, and the weekly assignments, an essay, and I specifically say 40 points, and the discussion 10 points, and the quiz 10 points. So that's the regular weekly work that the students have to do, and by repeating the same thing, the students have a habit of looking for this pattern of teaching, and by the second or third week, they're already on a roll there. Okay, the results. The idea is that the students achieve certain results, and for example, by using the film. In that film, we present the cultural aspects of a specific country, with the culture, and some additional topics are derived from watching the movie. Okay, the supplemental videos, depending on the film presented during the week, which include the cultural aspect. There might be other topics for discussion, such in the case of the Spanish film All About My Mother. It includes some cultural aspects about Spain, plus topics about the LGBT community and the organ transplants. Then on the supplemental videos, I include a real heart transplants and statistics about organ donations, etc. And our library has a very good, like I said, a good catalog in different topics. So the students learn about real life situations along with the topics that they can observe throughout the history, the story of the movie. Okay, in culture, they understand and the culture and the tradition of the different countries, and that raises an awareness in the students in the similarities or differences in food, language, music, family, etc. The student begins at this point analyzing those cultures and contrasting and comparing them to his or her own culture. For the writing skills, they learn basic to advanced grammar, structure, vocabulary, syntax, linguistics, etc. in Spanish. By doing this, they develop a more educated level of Spanish that in turn will be helping them transition that more educated Spanish to other advanced courses in English. In regards to the MLA style, they learn basics about the MLA writing style. If they don't know anything, they will become literate about how to write the essays in the MLA style. Again, they will be able to transfer these skills to other courses when they are taking other courses in English. In the online discussions, they share their new knowledge with other classmates, and they talk about culture and film with more confidence. And in the online format, those students that are shy I think they perform better in the online, because you only have the discussion board. You don't have the actual person sitting in front of you and looking you in a weird way. So that's I think allows them to be participating more. Technology, they learn about technology because my institution annual objectives include that our students be literate on their computer skills. All our students need to know something about computers at the end of their stay at our institution or their education in our institution. So that's something that they learn. So, and the last one, retention is a big deal in our school. It's something that we're always discussing. This particular course, the retention rate has stayed in the 90%, almost 100% since the inception of this course, in comparison to other course offerings at the institution. I have seen the retention rates for other courses, and their percentage rate, it's between 50 and 60 some percent. Therefore, I would say that by engaging the students in the subject being taught and using the technology that they're used to, a good retention rate can be accomplished. So that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, Dr. Amalia Garzon will be able to answer any questions that you might have. And if you have any additional questions, you may contact me via email, or Dr. Garzon has my business cards in case you have specific questions for me, and you can always get a hold of me via Facebook, and the page name is Spanish SPA-263, and you can find me there. Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope you continue to enjoy your conference in San Antonio. Thank you.